Hello everybody and welcome back to the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. I have a cat on my lap and I'm just relaxing. I feel a lot better. You've probably noticed the improvement in my voice over the past few videos, but I don't know if it's going to be improved from this because we have some things to work out, specifically the fact that we are now running to be leader of the coven because our sister wants us to. And we have to tell both our friends who we promised to help that we're gonna be running against them. Surprise! So we'll see how that goes. And our first letter is already here. Let's see who it is. Dear Fortuna, you wanted to see us, right? I'd love a get-together before the race starts. Let me know when it's a good time and I'll pick up Dahlia and come over to your place. Your friend Jasmine. Oh, so this is both of them, right at the same time? I don't think we've had two people over like this before. Might as well bite the bullet now. Invite them. Look at them! Come in, you guys. You're gonna be mad at me. Maybe. Thanks for coming. It's been centuries since we got the three of us together. I don't know why we didn't do this right away. What's up, witches? And you bet, magic life can get so chaotic sometimes that we forget to enjoy it. Yeah, it makes me so happy to see the two of you together. We should plan a trip after I regain my freedom. That's an incredible idea. You got her fired up already. Any idea where you would like to go? Depreya, the city of the blacksmiths. That sounds like a great trip. But I'd rather go for something less dark for my first time out. I've always wanted to visit the Deerfolk Kingdom. My mentor, Unaya, always told me amazing stories about it. Oh, I'm in! I've heard they have some fine studs in their brothels. Dahlia! I'm sure you can use a bit of action too, Jasmine. I have a satisfactory sex life. What are you implying? Oh, I was just teasing you, silly. Really? By the way, are you nervous about the elections? You can't imagine. I'm cool. More excited than anything. On the one hand, I'm not worried because whoever wins in the end, the coven is going to be well looked after. On the other hand, I want what's best for the coven, and I truly believe my program is the safest bet. Just to be clear, I do think you'd make for a lovely leader. But playing it safe is the death of progress, Jasmine. But aren't we all well already? We just need to iron out Audena's more abusive politics and put some love into the community. That's because the status quo benefits you. Think about all the novices, all the witches who don't fit into that orderly vision, myself included. My plan is not to start a revolution, but to level the playing field. It's not fair that powers is being held by the eldest. Novices need to be guided, though. Think about when we had just ascended. We weren't in any shape to be making important decisions. I don't know about that. Age has its own setbacks. What do you think, Fortuna? Well, about that, I guess it's time I make my stance clear. I'm running for leader myself. What? Oh my! But aren't you exiled? Patrice is gonna help me run the program. In fact, it was her who practically forced me into this venture. Okay, and what's your deal? I'm not really sure yet. We still have to define our program. But my sister is dead set on having my divination at the helm of the new government. That'd be quite an asset, all right. Have you really thought this through? I doubt a criminal has much of a chance at leadership. Whoa, that's a bit strong. I'm not a criminal, Jasmine. Part of the plan of becoming the next leader is to eradicate unfair punishments. So you actually want to meet us to declare war, huh? No! Not war. I just thought it'd be proper to let you know firsthand. I really think that, no matter who wins, the future is bright. Yeah, that's what I like to think. But the stress of competing against you two is a bit overwhelming. Why don't you use this opportunity to promise that, no matter what, we'll still be friends after the race is over? No promises needed. I never had a doubt about it. Likewise, we will always be friends. Thank you. I don't know what I would do if I lost you. You won't. I love you. I love you too. I love you 3. Fuck off. Okay, the next few weeks are about to get pretty busy. I'd better leave and start preparing my knives. Figuratively speaking, I understand. No, literally, I'm a dagger smith, that's what I do. No need to stab anyone, though. I hope. Don't stab me, please. Okay, you two. Take care. Okay. See you soon. Take care, both of you. Bye. Thanks for coming. Well, that was an interesting trip. Oh, they flew right past Abramar. Abramar, did they see you? Abramar's like, no, I'm turned fucking invisible. I'm a super-powered behemoth. You think they saw me? Oh. Oh, it's our sister. Uh-oh. Fortuna, everything is set to go. Get your shit in order because it's about to get real. Let me know when you're ready and we'll review the program and campaign plan. Sure? Hello again. How are you? Terrified? Good. Hold on to that fuel. Did you meet with Dahlia and Jasmine? Yes, I did. How did they take it? I mean, Jasmine didn't seem happy at the end, so... I don't know. I don't think they were as happy as they were letting on. They didn't show it, but I know they weren't happy. It's only natural. They both wanted you on their side because they know how fundamental your talents are for this campaign. I'm sure they're terrified now that they know you're running against them. I don't know. They're way more prepared than me. They're just bothered about the nuisance. You can't really be that naive. If we play our cards right, we're gonna sweep the polls. Maybe. Do you mean literally play the cards? Because I'm scared to play my cards. Okay, allow me to give you a rundown of what's ahead. We have to define a program and a plan. First, we'll analyze our opponents, and I'll interview you to see where we stand on the main issues. Then we'll sketch and review a program. Once we get to something solid, we'll form a team and schedule some campaign actions to get the ball rolling. The date for the election Congress hasn't been decided yet, but we're against the clock as of now. All clear? Yes. Good. First of all, did someone tell you about the 5 pillars of the Coven? You know, judgment, law enforcement, forbidden arts, mortal affairs, and witch duties. Do you need me to explain them to you? Explain them to me again, please, because it's been a while since I've played the game. Or, well, it's been a while since we heard about that, and I only heard what Dahlia and Jasmine would do. Thorough. That's good. Here's the deal. There are 5 key directives that keep our Coven's cogs churning. As I said, judgment, law enforcement, forbidden arts, mortal affairs, and witch duties. Make good note of them. Judgment is about how we deal with conflicts within the Coven, how we determine who's at fault and such. It's also the executive branch, where the Coven is going and how we deal with major events. Until now, we've had runic judgment, which basically consisted of Audina consulting the gods and us blindly swallowing whatever she fed us. Then we have law enforcement. That's how the Coven punishes anyone who did something wrong or forbidden, as determined by judgment. Right now, as you're well aware, we send infractors into exile for a variable amount of time, depending on the severity of their actions. Can our slogan be, "Fuck you, exile"? Very punk, it may work. Next is forbidden arts. That's how we deal with perilous magic and knowledge, such as summoning behemoths, necromancy, etc. You know, she was like, such as summoning behemoths, Fortuna, as she looks out the window. The current directive is that when the Coven determines that something could put our community at risk, we ban it. Then there's mortal affairs. That's how we deal with humans and, as traditionally put, other lesser beings. Lesser beings as in animals or any life form that doesn't have access to magic, actually. Fuck that term, by the way. Audina determined that mortals should be exploited and manipulated at witches' convenience. Yeah, like World War III? I don't like that at all. Did you know that Audina wanted to cause World War III on Earth? Yes, you knew what I was talking about, Fortuna. What? Why? To harvest energy from mortals. Fucking bastard. We still have a celebration pending to send her off to hell. You bet. Last but not least, there are the witch duties. That defines what obligations members have to the coven. Right now, we have those obnoxious quarterly controls of Audina imposed on us to check on our progress. You skipped them thanks to exile, but damn if they hadn't been a pain in the ass. Could you imagine if we still had to do those, even though we were in exile? Like, imagine if you get exiled for something that wasn't really your fault, or at least something that you didn't think was your fault. Because, even though we do write the future, we didn't know that at the time, and Audita didn't explain it to us. She just banned us and exiled us. Imagine you get exiled for something that you don't understand, something that wasn't your fault, and then they're also like, by the way, you still need to turn in your weekly report about your progress at work. Like, they give you, a Zoom computer, so you have to still do work while you're trapped on an asteroid. I would cry. Also, should a witch fail to deliver, they'll eventually lose their membership. Imagine the strain that's put on many of our sisters. I would have gladly done my homework in exchange for freedom, though. I know, but still. Luckily, the controls are suspended until after the elections, and many of us are hoping they will be cancelled forever. Nice. That's all 5 of them, right? But there's also Audina's corpse. Yes. But for these elections, there's an additional, critical point to the race. What to do with Audina's corpse? Oh, right. The coven is divided between devouring her, making the 100 members that we are right now more powerful, or scattering her remains throughout the cosmos so more witches can ascend, making the coven more diverse. What's your stance on that? I don't have a strong opinion on it. I'm fine with either becoming more powerful or welcoming more witches. But make no mistake, it's one of the hottest topics in these elections, so whatever you choose, be ready for a storm. Understood. Internalize these issues. Take your time. Let me know when you're ready to continue. Oh, wait! I didn't have a chance! Okay, I'm not done, but I'm gonna think about it right now. So, for judgment... You know what? We'll think about it as we get to it. I'm lazy. Good. Let's start dissecting our rivals, then. Who do you want to start with? Let's go in the order that I talked to them. Jasmine first. Understood. Jasmine was born in a small... Oh my god, did you send, like, a private investigator to stalk her? You have a folder and everything! Jasmine was born in a small English town during the Industrial Revolution, circa 1800, and I gave her a southern accent. That put her in a cultural sweet spot for amassing the sympathies of the coven. She's a young witch in the eyes of the eldest, medieval and ancient witches, but not so alien as us contemporary witches with our world wars, TV, internet, and other global lunacies. Jasmine gets along with us, but is also part of the last decent generation according to the most conservative witches. Her politics are a liberal revision of Audina's, removing the most tyrannical mechanisms by reducing punishment and responsibilities. That will maintain the status quo, but give more room for individualism and personal enterprise, free from so many duties and the fear of failure. Whoa, how did you manage to get all that info in such a little time? Please, I'm a detective, sis. This was barely scratching the surface. Oh, so you stalked her. Now focus. Her program to achieve this is... Judgment will be performed by a quorum of the 4 eldest witches in agreement with the leader. That is the sweetest candy of her program for the old lot. Enforcement will work with a system of strikes. She hasn't specified how many yet, but should a witch accumulate enough warnings, she will be expelled from the coven. Way less radical than exile, and the worst case scenario is the freedom to start anew elsewhere. Regarding forbidden arts, she won't change a thing. Anything deemed dangerous by the eldest witches will be banned. Then, for mortal affairs, Jasmine proposes a model of protection and guidance. What is good for humanity? What should we protect them from? I guess that will be determined by the quorum of the eldest. Lastly, as for witch duty, she proposes a policy of no vigilance. Jasmine argues that we should trust every sister will have the coven's interest in mind, and that there's no need to evaluate or impose any duties on any member. And of course, regarding the trending topic, Jasmine wants the coven to devour Audina's corpse, so we all become more powerful. Take a minute to interiorize Jasmine's program. Sure. If you mean by interiorize, take a photo, then yes. These damn kids and their damn contemporaries taking photos with their phones so they'll remember things. My witch phone. There we go. I didn't click off too quickly this time. Done? Actually done this time, yes. Perfect. So tell me now, what do you think is the best strategy to undermine her program? I think it's definitely this one. These plans benefit the powerful and forsake the novices. Not everything. Like, I think that the individualism is a good thing, and I kind of like the warning system. But again, like Patrice has been saying, who determines how many warnings? Who determines what's good or bad for humanity? And the eldest witches are in charge, along with Jasmine. It's kind of like Parliament with the Queen, or the King, I guess. The King, if you think about it, where it's like, yeah, the King is there, but Parliament is really the one doing things, and with how much Jasmine, looks up to the older witches, I don't know if she'll actually have any sway against what they think. And if they're in charge, it feels like all of the younger people are just gonna be left behind, especially if they see someone like Jasmine as the last good generation. So, I think this. These plans benefit the powerful and forsake the novices. Interesting. If we adopt this strategy, we may polarize the Coven's opinion. But in the long run, we could gather the support of the young and weak, plus the support of the most compassionate elders. It may do the trick. Good, good. Now to assess the candidate herself. Let's use your privileged info on Jasmine. What would you say is Jasmine's strongest point? Her resourcefulness, her charming mother-like aura. She's a pillar of the community. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like when you look at Jasmine, you don't really think like, oh, she's gonna get me. It's more like, oh, she's so sweet, which she is, but... So maybe pillar of the community? Or her charming mother-like aura? I'm gonna go with this one. Her charming mother-like aura. Right. A mother figure could well become the prom queen of this race. Many voters decide based on instinct rather than analysis, and Jasmine's persona promises to be an excellent caretaker for the lot of us. We'll need to expose her ugly sides to distort those motherly attributes. Please don't, she's my friend! Now to her flaws. What would you say is Jasmine's weakest point? I don't want to say her compassion is a weakness. I don't think caring about people is a weakness. Maybe vanity or envy, because I remember her being upset that Greth wouldn't talk to her. Assuming it was a slight against her. Or at least being upset about it in a way that seemed kind of mean. So I'm gonna say envy. Envy. Really? Yes, and she does a poor job of hiding it. We should come up with creative ways of triggering her envy. This will come very handy to cloud her judgment. I feel so bad doing this. Toughen up, Fortuna. Her advisors will be doing the same about you, no doubt. Plus, these are emergency resources. If we play our cards right, we can hope for a clean victory. Focus on bringing your best game, and I won't have to push any ugly buttons. Talk about pressure. Shall we go over Dahlia now? Yeah, sure. What did you dig up about her past? Dahlia's not from Earth. On our home planet, politics have evolved and twisted more than anywhere else explored in the universe. She comes from the demonic desert lands, where matriarchy-based warlordism and chieftainship are a primary form of organization even nowadays. I'm not saying to underestimate her, but we can expect her to not be well prepared to navigate the intricacies of a political campaign. On the other hand, Dahlia's politics seem to be very different from her homeworld's. From what I've gathered, her focus seems to be collectivizing the Coven's duties and responsibilities, distributing the Coven's power horizontally. Level the playing field is practically her slogan. Her program to achieve this is Judgment by Referendum. Dahlia argues that in a community this compact, we should have to account for every member's input, regardless of their background or preparation. Enforcement, none whatsoever. She believes in amicable resolution. And should dialogue fail, she wants to leave the matter in the hands of the Arbitrage Office. Her point being that we don't need to police ourselves when we already have a magical pact. Forbidden arts allow free access to any kind of magic and control them through education, not banning. Mortal affairs cut off all ties with mortals. Dahlia believes we're too privileged to be messing with people's lives. She thinks we should leave them be and focus on the cosmic and magical. Witch duties, magical tax. Have every member of the coven share a percentage of their magic output to pool resources for the benefit of the clan. And finally, she believes we should scatter Audena's remains, so more witches can ascend and our coven can become more diverse. As you can see, Dahlia is betting on a kind-hearted community that requires goodwill to work. Almost utopic, I must say. What do you think is the best strategy to undermine her program? I really do like her program. I think it's good. But communism doesn't really work out when you take it out on take it off of paper, specifically because the people who are in power make sure it doesn't work by taking advantage of it. They say communism will benefit everyone, but it only really benefits them. Once again, just like with capitalism. So I think that would be our best point. I do believe in compassion and faith in good intentions, but unfortunately there's not that much, especially with the older witches. Because it sounds like they just don't like the idea of younger people being in power, so having faith that they would be nice about things is probably not a good idea. I mean, I definitely do like the punishment or the judgment version of this better, and the law enforcement. It reminds me of a jury, but, you know, and juries aren't the best either, but it's better than like the same 5 people deciding your fate over and over again, even though they have nowhere near the same life experience as you, a la Supreme Court. But I think this is the best flaw we have here. Point out the failure of communism on Earth. It may work. However, although the majority of the witches from our coven come from Earth, many of them predate the existence of communism. Don't worry, we'll figure out a more universal approach. Okay, now, let's capitalize on your intimate knowledge about your rival. What would you say is Dahlia's strongest point? Definitely, she is definitely overwhelming in her confidence. She's very loud and bombastic, but like, in a way that people like, because she's very enthusiastic. I would say she kind of embodies the winds of change. She is change. She was trying to, like, get a group to leave the coven before Adena died. So, I think it's this. She embodies the winds of change. Anyone fed up with Adena's abuse is likely to support Dahlia. Good point. And I don't think it'll pay to be even more radical than her. Maybe our best bet will be to offer change but with less risk, some middle ground between Jasmine and Dahlia. If we do it well, it'll paint us as the smartest choice. Alright, what about her weaknesses? What is Dahlia's most critical flaw? I think she's definitely, like, seems kind of impulsive, but I think it's more this. She's very green when it comes to politics or philosophy, and in such a race where, like, politics are intense, even if you're just an outside viewer, and, like, even the professionals, we see those debates, they're hell. And if Dahlia doesn't really know anything about that, that might be something we could expose or, like, use, even if that sounds so mean to say, but Dahlia's very green when it comes to debating politics or philosophy. That's a very exploitable flaw. We should aim to have as many exchanges with Dahlia as possible, and defeat her dietetically. Send as many challenging questions as we can her way. Force her to make public statements on hairy topics. She's likely to sabotage herself if we overwhelm her with complex dilemmas. I still want them to be my friends after this, Patrice. Is this really necessary? It's your call, but if we don't exploit your opponent's flaws, it'll make it less likely for you to become the next leader. Politics are ugly, I know, But also, let me tell you, you should expect the same from your rivals. Friends or not, I'm sure they won't be pulling any punches. Be ready. True, this is a fight 3 ways. Oh, I'm already regretting this. But sure, whatever. I'll handle it. Alright, now for the 3rd candidate. What? There's more? Of course! No one told you? No? Who is it? No one truly thinks she poses any threat to Dahlia or Jasmine, but she is a candidate nonetheless. We should study her. I believe this dark horse has a chance of surprising us all. Who is it? Tell me who it is already, come on. Oh! Capressa, the historian witch. The eldest witch in our coven, she precedes even Audina. Capressa was originally from Earth, but ascended way before humanity started even writing. She has an ineffable memory. All events get registered inside her tree rings. The thing is that she's always played a secondary role in the coven, just supporting us with her wisdom. But apparently, Capressa isn't a fan of change, and isn't happy with the direction Jasmine or Dahlia want to take the coven, so for the first time, she's running for leader. Her program is easy to sum up. She wants to keep things exactly the same as Audina left them. Moreover, she advocates for preserving Audina's corpse as some sort of oracle, to keep using her as a channel to consult with the gods and to set the direction for the coven. Wow. Fuck Capressa. Fuck her program in any case. I know Capressa personally, and she's very kind and helpful. But yes, no one wants the ghost of Audina to keep ruling over us. Please, God, no. I met her ghost. It was bad. She has very few supporters among all the eldest, but I wouldn't underestimate her. Capressa has this special mystical aura around her. Combined with her vast knowledge, she's sure to impress many voters during the campaign. Depending on how gruesome the race gets, we could scare some of the most conservative witches into switching sides from Jasmine to Capressa. I see. As long as we don't underestimate Capressa and keep her in check, it should all be fine now. Understood. I guess that's why Jasmine or Dahlia didn't mention her. They feel like they have a better shot. Alright, are you ready to start defining your program? Or do you want to take a break? You know what? Let's take a break. I think I need time to think this over, and also I have to go to work in like a little bit. So I will think about it while I'm at work and then come back and we'll decide what we want to do. What do you guys think we should do? Are we ready for this responsibility? Or do we want to... I don't know. What are we gonna do? I need to think about what I think would be best. Not only for the coven, but to see what would help us win. But I want to do what's best for the coven. I want to give us more freedom and get rid of exile and maybe make it so Abermar isn't going to get me smited the second I escape. Smitten? If you get that reference, you're awesome. Anyway, I'll think about it. You guys think about it too. What would you do? Or what do you think I should do? Either way, we'll find out next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, get your big sister to stalk your friends, and have a good day.